Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This week we are looking at the Ford Crown Victoria mod for BeamNG.drive. Now this mod was released back in January, I think it was, and you can get it in the description below. There is a link to the download which I've placed for this vehicle. Now this vehicle comes in quite a few variants, and I'm just walking around here just showing off the trunk or the boot, however you may choose to call it. This is quite a venerable vehicle in the United States. It's well known for the police force using it or having used it in the past. It's quite popular in that regard. It comes with a number of different engines, and the variants as well are all faithfully reproduced within BeamNG.drive. So yes, I thought I'd take this vehicle for a quick test drive today and just see what it's all about. Does seem pretty interesting. What we'll do is just do a quick little walk around, and then we'll hop inside and go for a little drive down the road and see what kind of trouble we can get into. Now this is the East Coast USA map in BeamNG, and I've chosen the farmhouse starting point. I think it's called farmhouse, can't quite remember. Anyway, you'll see it if you choose the East Coast USA map there. Yeah, not much really to say. Let's hop inside and take a look at the interior of the vehicle. Now this vehicle is optioned with the 4.6 litre V8 2-valve per cylinder model. There is the 4-valve per cylinder model as well. Just looking through the interior here, you can see the window controls. You've got the dash cluster here with the speedo and the tachometer. You've got your fuel, your temperature and mileage. Headlights you can see there as well. Column shift automatic. Go ahead and start it up. 4-speed automatic. Now in the game you can choose a variety of different transmissions. There's also a few different manual transmissions as well, even one with adjustable gear ratios, so that's pretty cool. Quite spacious inside. This is obviously the civilian version, so there's no police roll cage or anything like that, or equipment or anything. Let's go ahead and listen to that V8. You can hear that thing roar, and you can feel the vehicle kind of shift a little bit. Just hop on outside and listen to it from the rear. Now this vehicle is rear-wheel drive. It's got the standard independent suspension at the front and live rear axle at the back, solid rear axle I should say. Just dropping it into drive here and moving off down the road, down this little dirt track. What we'll do is we'll join the main road in just a moment, and we'll see what this thing can do. I've got the traction control turned on at the moment, so no silly buggers with that turned on. So let's just go ahead and turn that off like so, and give it a bootful of gas and see what it does. There's nothing like laying some serious rubber with this thing. You can tell this has the non-limited slip differential rear end as well. It's just got the standard open differential, so you get a lot of one tire fires when you accelerate. In the game you can outfit the rear axle with a whole range of different differentials, even a welded rear diff, as well as the limited slip rear differential as well. Now you can also get a few different engine types in the game for this car as well. There's the 3.5 I think V6, and there's the straight 6. Don't mind me what I'm doing here, just messing about. Just trying to get out of here now. See, there's quite a bit of articulation on the rear axle there. I love the sound effects when the wheels are throwing up the stones and the dirt. They've done that really well in BeamNG. Okay, back on the road. So this has the 4-speed automatic, and what you can do is slot it into low gear or second if you wanted to hold the gears. That's a better option if you want a bit more sporty driving. Otherwise it just shifts up, as you can see there, into third and fourth. And the real cool thing with BeamNG as well is if you accelerate gently, the gearbox will shift up sooner, so that's pretty cool when you're driving the automatics. and if you give it a boot full of throttle, it will kick down, as it were, and shift down to a lower gear. So I am using the Logitech G27 as always here, steering wheel, shifter and pedal combo. Predominantly driving the automatic version of this vehicle today. They pretty much were all automatic, I guess. I'm not really too sure if they actually came in manual. I'm sure there was probably a few manuals out there. What I'm hoping to do here is just do a few laps of this map and just see just how fast we can kind of go. There is a speed limiter by default on the vehicle installed, and you can actually uninstall that. With the speed limiter, I think it's limited to like 120 miles an hour or thereabouts. I can't quite tell what gear it's in actually. I think that's still second. First gear will go to about 50 miles an hour, and then second will take you all the way up to about 90 miles an hour, so almost 160 kilometers an hour there in the new money. So this thing can really get going when you put the foot in. And just look at this thing roar down the street here, roar down the road. Still got the traction control off, so really have to be careful in the corners. If you get on heavy with the throttle, the rear end will catch you out and you'll end up somewhere in a ditch or even worse. So just rounding this corner here at almost 80 miles an hour, kind of at the limit of the tires more or less. There's probably a little bit more in it. I don't really want to tempt fate here all the same. Coming up to the bridge now on the right hand side, so just start to get on the brake. Oh, I can see the ABS flickering. One thing with the brakes as well, they do start to fade real quick, so you really have to be careful when you're braking, otherwise you can just overheat the brakes like nothing. Okay, into second, really in the power band now, and about to hit third, and we're almost at 100 miles an hour already. Got a bit of a sweeping left-hander down here. I'll be passing the gas station shortly. See if we can get some air on some of these bumps coming up. Whoa, there we go. There's some air. And just blowing past the gas station there at 100 miles an hour. Over the bridge. Oh, a little bit of contact there underneath, I think. See if we can hit the limiter on this straight section, more or less. Really have to, just going to lean in here close to the dash and you can see exactly how fast I'm going. Pretty much at the limiter now. Oh, I just let off. I should have just... It's really deceptive, that section of the road there. Kind of forces you to get off the gas, but... Alright, brakes, no! Okay. And you can see how quickly things can get unstuck here. And of course, being BeamNG.drive, the ultimate physics simulator, this game doesn't take it easy on you. If you do crash, you can very easily write off your vehicle, as you can see here. We've just lost two of the wheels on the right hand side and we're basically totaled the vehicle. So yeah, not really going anywhere now, unfortunately. So just gonna have to reset and give it another go, but let's just see what sort of damage we've done here. I must say the safety cell of this vehicle is really quite strong indeed. You can see the double wishbone suspension there at the front. Can't seem to walk any further past the rear door there, but yes, we really did a number on it there. If we walk out here, let's go ahead and examine the scene of the crime, as it were, where we made contact with the guardrail. And you can see that there's tire marks, skid marks here, all the way through until we hit the guardrail. Alright, just reset the vehicle here and we're going for another leisurely drive, or not so leisurely drive, into the countryside once again. Just gonna boot it, because I can't help it, basically. Just love lighting up that rubber. Really doesn't take much at all. And the brakes on this thing do work hard, but obviously there's a lot of weight to stop, and conversely a lot of weight to shift as well when you really get on it. So Just love revving this thing out in first gear. Can't get enough of that. Okay, we'll quit messing around. Let's have a look at the map just real quick. I love how it zooms out like that. And we are looking at the East Coast free roam mode of East Coast USA, as we can see there. Points of interest, farmhouse, there we go, that's the name of it. So that's where I started. So I'm hoping to do a bit of a lap of this entire map today. And you saw just what I was trying to do before I crashed there as well. So yeah, I can't quite figure out actually which way I actually go when I look at it from way up here, but I definitely know the way when I'm down on the ground, so whatever. We'll go ahead and just get back down to earth here and jump back inside and continue with our little joyride here. This time I'm not going to drive into the ditch. That's much better. There you go, first gear, almost 60 miles an hour there. Now in the game as well, not only can you choose different engines and different final drives options as well, like limited slip and all that sort of thing, but you can also choose what's called a high stall torque converter. There's also a heavy duty locking torque converter and all sorts of different transmissions, basically, as I did mention before. So with the high stall torque converter, that does give you a little bit more oomph off the line, and I'll see if I can actually install that a little bit later and just see how that is. It actually does make a difference in the game as well. You can see the engine revving a bit higher when the vehicle is stationary, so that's really cool. I'm loving this vehicle for that reason as well. It's just so many different options that you can fit it out with. And the 4.6 litre modular V8, as I said, comes in those two flavors, the 4V and the 2V, which I believe is the 2 valve and the 4 valve. So we'll have a look at that as well and just see how they look in just a few moments. Just want to see if I can do a clean lap here, so just bear with me as I go absolutely flat out. Try and keep it on the road. And into third gear very shortly, still just ringing out second. Yeah, okay, so it does just over 100 miles an hour in second. Almost 110 miles an hour in second gear. How about that? How's that for absolutely insane? Okay, come around to this corner again. Keep it around 70 to 80 miles an hour, no more than 80. So yeah, that's what happens if you lose your balance there. Almost lost it. Bear in mind my traction control is turned off, so there's no stability control, no traction control to help us out here. Just me and the road. Coming up to the bridge after this little right-hander. Over the bridge and into this left-hand turn. Got that sweeper coming up and then the petrol station once again. Now what we'll do this time is we'll keep the throttle pinned as we get through that little straight section and just see if we can't hit the limiter. I haven't actually tried this vehicle out without the limiter just yet. I'm sure it will do 130 miles an hour plus. Ooh, on the limit there, on the limit. I think you can upgrade the tires as well, not too sure, haven't looked at that aspect of it just yet. Getting some air again, that's a good sign. Oh, made contact once again. Okay, so this time I'm just going to keep the accelerator pinned to the floor, basically. I'm not letting off as we go through this section here. Don't want to lose any speed. And you'll know when we've hit the limiter if you watch the RPM counter. There you go. It kind of bounces back like that. There you go. So we've hit the limiter. Okay. And I've slowed down well before this little corner here this time, so that was much better. Now the damage model in BeamNG obviously is at its best as well. Whoops, just made contact with the guardrail there, as you can see. Oh no. Just letting it go here. Okay. And this thing still wants to keep going. It's definitely in trouble. It's definitely not looking very happy. It's seen better days. I'm surprised the radiator hasn't completely demolished itself. There's no steam coming out of the vehicle. It's definitely got problems. You can hear things scraping and dragging on the road. Parts of the body and the bumper, no doubt. The vehicle's canted off to one side there. It looks like the right-hand tire at the rear is just doesn't have as much weight on it at the moment. Still just burning its way into the distance there. Ooh. Okay. Well, I think that's the end of that. That was quite a cinematic crash there. And you can see the underside. That solid rear axle and the dual exhaust. Automatic transmission. The engine's still running just fine. It's one solid motor indeed. Alright, okay. Just reset here and take a look at the different variants that this Crown Victoria comes in. And you can see here there's a lot to choose from. You've got the 3.5 V6, you've got the base model, and you've got even the straight 6 with the CVT transmission. Ew, that sounds gross, quite frankly. You've got the unmarked police cars, you've got the taxi variant, there's the retired beater, there's the vinyl roof version. Oh, there's just too many to read out here. I do like the V8 models for sure. Just go ahead and choose the... Oh yeah, look at that. You've got the 4.2 diesel V8 with the dually rear axle. I think what we'll do is just take a look at the taxi. That looks pretty bright and vivid there. And the rapid taxi. This thing has the V8 as well. I think this is still the 4.6 2-valve variant. So we'll just go ahead and have a look inside just real quick. Pretty much the same, except it does have a little cage there at the back to separate the driver and the passengers there. Just never know what kind of passenger you'll pick up, I guess. Okay, let's head into the vehicle config. I did say that we're going to look at the config before, and there's a lot of different options. You can see there the lovely modular V8 3D model there just popping up as I look at the two different V8 options. You can see this is the 2V, the 2-valve, and it looks like a single overhead cam valve cover there on that V8 3D model. Now if we go ahead and choose the 4-valve, just want to see what the 3D model looks like. No, it looks the same. Okay, that definitely doesn't look like a 4-valve head there. That definitely looks like the single overhead cam still. So, oh well, they haven't changed the 3D model for the 4-valve version, it seems. That just looks like the single overhead version still. No biggie. Still a lot of detail in that engine though, for sure. So that's really cool. You can even change the engine management there. There's the speed limiter that I was talking about, 119 miles an hour, that speed limiter. Now here's the transmissions. You've got the 4-speed automatic. You've got a variety of different automatics, and you've got the rather ridiculous CVT. You've got a number of manuals as well, the adjustable manual as well. And here's all the different torque converters, so that's really cool. Just go ahead and choose the high stall torque converter, and I think we'll head on down the road and we'll just see what this thing can do. I think what we'll do before we wrap this video as well is we'll have a look at the police variant just real quick. Variants are actually obviously quite similar. It is the same car after all, so not much really to expect from a difference point of view, externally at least. But the interiors are slightly different, and the performance of the vehicle can be quite different depending on what transmission and what engine option you choose. So let's just try the stall. Yeah, look at that. It's like 3000 RPM stall now instead of around 2500 like it was before. Yeah, that does stall a lot higher now with the high stall torque converter. Yep, definitely. Get a little bit more performance out of the high stall torque converter, I'd say. a little bit more peppy acceleration as well when you're downshifting transmission. But yes, this is the rapid taxi variant of the Crown Victoria. Oh, almost made the same mistake again, went into the ditch. Also easy to go into that ditch, it seems. I must be turning too late or not turning hard enough, or probably both. Anyway, that's the rapid taxi right there. So let's go ahead and choose a different variant. The rapid taxi's got a nice little nudge bar at the front as well. That's pretty cool. Do like the hubcaps as well, and the steel rims. Let's go ahead and choose the police variant of the Crown Victoria, and I think we'll wrap up for today's video. So go ahead and look at the police package, as it's called. There's so many different police versions as well. Belasco City, there's Firewood, there's Liberty City. You name it, it's there, more or less, if you can name it. Alright, let's try this out. Got the police variant here. Definitely sounds like the V8. Got a nice little spotlight there. Got the sirens and lights up top, obviously, as well. Let's see what it's like differential wise. Ooh, looks like we've got a twin spinner there at the back. So yeah, it's got a limited slip differential from the looks. So it's lighting up both wheels there instead of just a one tire fire, as expected. And look at the interior, you've got a few different little options in here, or a few different little aesthetic differences. Obviously the police laptop and the speed, or the radar unit. Whoops, just trying out the horn there. I wonder if this actually has the high stall torque converter. I haven't actually tested that. Definitely has what it seems to be. It seems to be having a bit more go than the stock version. It probably has updated engine management software, so that is very cool indeed. I could imagine driving this car in like a demolition derby, or maybe in BeamNG even multiplayer mode. Maybe put some traffic on the map and try out the sirens. I'm sure this vehicle will be a boon in some of those missions where you have to pull vehicles over and all that sort of thing as well. Should look into that actually. This thing can really get up and boogie as well. You can see here it takes no effort at all to get up to 100 miles plus, 100 mile an hour plus. Handling is more or less like the stock version, just giving it a little bit of beans around this corner. Actually, it's doing 80 miles an hour without breaking much of a sweat around that corner, so that's pretty cool. Okay, one thing I do want to try though is the speed limiter. So we'll come around here, we'll go over the bridge, and then we'll come up and see what it's like once we hit that straight. Just kicking down here in second. This thing really shifts. Let's try out the handbrake here just real quick. I've got my foot on the floor. Very nice. Alright. Engine kind of bounced off the limiter there before the transmission had a chance to shift. I wonder if that's realistic. Anyway, I'm sure we'll hit the limiter in no time. Whoa, getting some good air there. Just absolutely blowing past that petrol station. Over the bridge, making some contact. And onto the speed limiter we go. So let's see if there is a speed limiter actually. I don't think there is. I don't think. No, there is not. We're doing almost 130 miles an hour now. Got the throttle pinned at the moment. Yep, 130 miles an hour plus. Yeah, wow, okay. At least 130 miles an hour, and that was some pretty not exactly straight roads there either, so very good, very good. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up here. So thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video with your friends if you enjoyed it. And please remember to follow me on my socials. Links are in the description. There's a lot going on as usual behind the scenes. Trying to make some progress with some of my other projects at the moment. So hope to have a few more videos on some of those projects as well coming up on the channel soon. So until next time.